ever stained a deck before? Nope, sure haven't, but we're gonna learn how to do it today. Welcome to Flipping Gorgeous. My name is Lena Taylor. I'm a mom of 3, a lifestyle entrepreneur, and a realtor turned renovator. Thank you for being here and consider subscribing. Good morning. We are back at Cottage house that sits on our property and serves as a guest house and a place to, be a home away from home from all of our families and friends that come to visit. Recently had to rebuild the whole deck, which was quite a surprise, but I decided that I was gonna save us the $1,000 to $1,200 by staining and painting the deck myself. So I have finished the paint portion. Now we're gonna move on to staining the deck. I am using this Behr Premium semi-transparent and chocolate weatherproofing stain, and it can go right directly onto the wood. So that's what we're doing this morning. I cleaned the deck all up. That's very important that once before you stain that you get rid of any debris. I've gone over with a little razor edge to get any paint dripping. To apply the stain, I'm gonna be using the stain pad. I'm just attaching this to a paint pole. I just picked this up at Home Depot when I was getting the paint. I was hoping they had a bit of a wider one, but that's okay. These planks aren't too big, but this is probably gonna allow me to get one plank at a time. Ready to go. Look at that, rich chocolatey brown. Oops. And that's again why you put down your stain pad or a drop cloth. Start with a paintbrush and cut in on the corners here so that it's a little easier. You know what, I should have taped this all off. I wasn't thinking. Try not to get too much on this pad. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and tape. Wasn't thinking, guys, about how I should do that. And how am I gonna cover this wood? That's really annoying that they did that. Why did they put the stamp side down? Guys, I'm getting more and more frustrated about this when I see little things that I'm like, why did they do that? Maybe he thought I was gonna paint over it. I should have done this first. Why did I not do that first? Come on, Lena. I was in the middle of staining this deck when I got a text message from a good friend of mine telling me that her dad was coming home from the hospital and going on hospice. So I stopped, I gave her a call because if you don't know me and my story, I lost my mom almost 10 years ago. And I spent 5 days with her in hospice. And part of the reason that it's so important to me to fix up this little cottage house is that so my family that I do have, my dad, my sister, my brother, their families, my in-laws, always have a place to be or to come to or to stay. My dad lived in this cottage for a while until he found his place. To me, having a home is all about having a place for family. And I think when you've lost a parent, that really becomes just like my top priority in life. Everything else seems really trivial over family. So if you're watching this video and you've lost a parent or lost somebody in your life recently that you loved, I'm just sending you lots of hugs and comfort. And working with my hands is a big way that I work through some of those emotions. I was thinking about my mom last night and just laying there wide awake. So this stuff I do is also to honor her because she loved real estate and she loved designing homes and she loved, making things beautiful and seeing the potential in them. Because this is a semi-transparent stain, I went over it the next day with a second coat. This just gives it a deeper, richer feel, and it's going to help me hide that stamped lumber that should have been laid the other way down. So even if you have a trusted team that you've always used, be sure to stay on top of them because this could have been avoided. All right, I told you there was more. And there's a little tiny back deck that comes off the side of the house. It was not as in bad of shape, so we just had to replace a single board and rebuild the stairs. But here's kind of the problem. The existing stain on here is more solid and like a chocolate. So I'm not gonna strip this all the way down. I am just going to match it and restain over. So it will be slightly darker than the front porch, but they're right next to each other, so I don't think it really matters. Since this isn't the biggest deck, I'm just gonna be using my orbital sander here. I'm gonna be using an 80 grit paper to get off that. And don't forget a mask. For this back deck portion, I'm going to be using bare paint again, but you'll notice here I went with a tintable deep base and I got it tinted in the color coffee, which I think matches this the best, and this is a solid color. So I did semi-transparent on the front porch, but as you can see, this is a way more solid, so if I did transparent, it wouldn't cover it all up, especially since we've got a new board. So that's what we're going to be using on this back side.